Green is the new gold. Our 18-hole Niklaus design, award-winning golf course and clubhouse will leave you green with envy. We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with me, Anele. On SABC 3, the stage is yours. So who doesn't like the promise of something new? Now, you may have noticed some brand new shows right here on SABC 3 over the past month or so. So the head honchos at SABC 3 have gone out of their way to shake things up, all for your continued viewing pleasure. Whether it be through thrilling drama series, forward-thinking comedy, or riveting talk shows. It's right here on SABC 3. A little later in the show, I'll be joined by two stars in their own right with their own new brand new shows on the channel to catch up with. But first, to talk more about the channel's new lineup is the head of bouquet at SABC 3, Aisha Mohammed, who used to be my boss in Radio Land. But clearly you like being my boss because you were like, you know what? You can leave.
So who follows who? You follow me.
Who followed? Okay. Actually, I followed
you. You
Oh,
followed
so
me.
clearly I like you being my boss.
Yes,
I grow as when you are my boss. Just a quick, I just want to lead people to your path. You were marketing manager at 5FM. Then you were marketing manager at MTV Base Africa.
Yes.
And then you came back to Rand Station at 5FM. And then you moved over to SABC 3.
Yes, absolutely.
So you know a lot about what you know.
I try.
You try, and you're modest. When it comes to, you know, picking shows like for a channel and running things, it's quite tough because you have to try to please everyone. So what balance are you always trying to strike?
I think balance is even more tricky when you look at a channel like SABC 3.
Yes.
Free to air is always going to be different to satellite or to pay TV. With free to air, specifically a channel as big as SABC 3, when it stands next to SABC 1 and SABC 2, it really has to command presence. And I think that the challenge for us really is just about how to strike that balance in terms of variety and in terms of being able to meet tastes. So we're not a singular channel, you know, we don't have just cooking on our channel
And you've got the most diverse of markets to deal with,
That's right.
if you think about it.
So that's the hard part. So it's how are you able to balance your schedule with enough content that speaks to a wide variety of tastes, everything from cooking to reality to drama to sitcoms. You know, it's not linear. But that's also where the fun is. There's so much fun in doing so. You know, I'm blessed because I have the opportunity to work across genres.
Yeah.
With talent such as yourselves, with a wide variety of content. It's really, really great. So I think the balance for us is always going to be tough. It's always going to be about whether you want your soapy at 6 or whether you want it at 6:30, whether you want the news at 5.
How does that work out, by the way, when it's timing? Because now we've spoken balance, let's talk timing. How do you sit and decide, okay, this show will go at this time and at that time?
So there's a really strong scheduling strategy behind each show.
Yeah.
So it's about creating that balance. It's about available audience versus how it is that we can cater for that audience at the right time. It's also about planning our schedule alongside what is our SABC 1 and SABC 2. So we look at SABC 3 very much as part of a bouquet, but as a transversal offering as compared to 1 and 2. So it's not just about SABC 3 and its success. It's about making sure that the network is a success.
So when it comes to look and feel, because I mean, SABC 3 has evolved as well. There's always something new. There's always a new look. But what I do notice has always stuck with the channel were the colors, the blues and the greens. So how do you go in deciding look and feel of a channel as big as SABC 3?
I think that the look and feel is always going to be easy. It's what is about easy on the eye, about taste, about what is it that you can stay for long.
Yeah.
The premium feel. Yeah. But about, being like very much of a welcoming sort of look and feel. So we looked at, in terms of this look and feel that we've got on the channel now, we looked at a variety of colors. It's almost like a windmill.
Yes.
Of a variety of, if you had to explain it, of a variety of colors around warmth and success and around coolness and those sort of feels and touch points, because it was important for us to be able to relate to the audience in a way in which it's engaging, it's welcoming, you know, you feel like you want to engage when you watch the channel. And also it's just got a bit of more of a premium feel.
And the thinking behind the stage is yours?
So I think when you think about the stage is yours, it's about your opportunity to shine, your opportunity to grow, your opportunity to achieve, your opportunity to aspire. So if we look at South Africa as a whole, and you look at our nation and how it is that we are able to grow, think about an individual who starts very rural, who is able to go to school, then go to university, and then bring back success to the very township that they grew up in. It's about somebody who is able to achieve beyond measure. So don't let your past define you. Don't let what it is that is, where it is that you come from define you. You define your own success. You're an example of the stage is yours. Look at that. I mean, who would have thought all those years ago when we started at 5FM that you'd be living the dream right now? That's full circle. Yeah. This stage is yours. You know, it's about achieving, and it's about aspiring to want to be more and to achieve more and to grow, and you know, and whatever it is that is speaks to you and what it is that you feel you want to achieve. It's about that. It's about making that stage yours.
Okay, so I want to talk about these new shows. I was telling you off air, one of my favorites already is That Effect, hosted by Chris Forrest. It plays on Saturdays, right? Yes. And it's a game show, and where we have to lie or tell the truth, and then the audience, I was terrible at it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I thought I was a good liar. As a Xhosa person, I was like, you know, I can lie. And then I realized, no, I'm terrible. So when it comes to these new shows, what spoke to you about them, and why are they now on SABC3?
So we looked at, again, we looked at different genres. Yeah. So we looked at what is it that we can put forward to our audience that will speak to them. It's about their stage, it's about empowering them, it's about providing content that speaks to what it is that they'd like to see within themselves. So it was, we looked at a cross-section of things. So we looked at reality series, we looked at dramas, we looked at sitcoms, we looked at magazine shows, and we've actually got a new slot, and very strong entrepreneurial slot in business about growth and how it is that you can achieve and succeed. So there was a lot of different things that we looked at in terms of creating the schedule, but the localizing of that was just as important as it was about creating a cross-section of genres in terms of the content. So it's about telling South African stories in a way in which it relates to us, not in a way in which we are being told how it is that our story should be told. So that was a big part of it too. In terms of selection, we've got some really great shows on the schedule at the moment, stuff we're really proud of. I mean, we've got Tropical Island of Treasure, which is on a Monday, reality, which is really great. Survivors on a Tuesday, which is obviously a show where people love Survivor. So
it's been 98 seasons and I'm not bored yet.
It's still going.
I'm like, yes,
this recent season, I mean, I watched it on Tuesday. It's brilliant, right? So there's that. Then there's Dinner Date, which is actually a UK format. Is Dinner Date like Come Dine With Me, kind of, sort of? Similar, but it's dating. So it's about finding your partner, your ideal partner through food. So it's the UK format this is the first South African version. We've had some really interesting characters and people on the show, so that's been well entertaining. Then we've got a really new drama called Chula's Vine. Yes. Also something we're really proud of, an SABC3 production. Set also in a storyline which is about actually a radio DJ who loses everything based on an affair that she has with somebody very high in the political sphere. Oh, wow. And who is actually married, and who then turns on her. Who told you guys this? Doesn't know anything about her. And then it's about rebuilding your life, going back home to the very place that you left and abandoned because you fell in love with the city and the lights and the fame and the fortune. And it's about now rebuilding, you know, who it is that you are and finding yourself in Tula. So Tula is the actual character, and it's Tula's Vine. Yeah. And then we've got the sitcom, which Soap on a Rope. Soap on a Rope. We're going to speak to one of the stars on it as well, and we're going to speak to the reality star as well. And then there's Uyanda. Uyanda is on, who's got a really great reality series. So you will speak to her, and she'll tell you all about that. I am well excited about this lineup. Everybody's seen the billboards, and really, you guys are always stepping the game up. Aisha, my boss, Mohammed, thank you so much for coming to join us on Real Talk right here on SABC3. Coming up, we are joined by the newest TV star reality, am I saying that right? Newest reality TV star. There's the English I know. To grace our screens, Uyanda Mbuli, stay right where you are.
And welcome back. Everyone who makes it had to start out somewhere. And the story is no different for Uyanda Mbuli. She was once referred to as a socialite, but these days she commands respect as a mediapreneur. She also lives quite the busy lifestyle that often has her jet setting from Hollywood to Abu Dhabi and everywhere in between. And it's on her new reality TV show, It's On, where you can keep up with Miss Mbuli. Where do you get all these rich friends?
Look, it's relationships that are built over the years.
So when you guys met, you were all poor?
Well, you know, Anele, how long I've known you and Tembisa?
Yes.
And you know you've made it, right? Oh. So would you say I've known you since you were poor? I mean, you know, I know your family, I know your dad, I know you, I know Tembisa, so we just keep the relationship flowing.
And
the
then
fact
everyone
that
was
we don't talk every day doesn't mean we don't know each other.
Because you know what, ne? The beauty about your reality show is that when I heard, I actually tweeted you and I was like, it's about time. Because watching you on Instagram, you're like, hey, there's a life here and it's a high life and I want to watch it all the time. So is that why you decided to take the step and just do your own reality show?
I think when I realized what I was doing out there in the world and the people I knew, I thought, I'm just an ordinary girl next door who grew up in Ganyamazane, a small township in Mpumalanga. How am I different to the next South African girl in Soweto or in East London or in PE or in Durban, Guamashu? Let me expose our South African people to this so that they know they can be global citizens just like me. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. So I just think if I can do it, anybody can do it. So that's why Uyanda is on.
And it is on. And now here's the thing, this global citizen, every time I see you, you are sitting in business class, and not in business class, actually, sorry. It's first class, the one where you literally have your own room and your own shower and soon you're going to have your own pilot. And you're like,
I appreciate that, and I thank God. I receive it in the name of Jesus.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. And then I'm just like, okay, fine. Doesn't Uyanda work?
Uyanda does work.
Okay.
I run my company. Actually, I invested in Uyanda It's On, so I paid for it, and I created it, and I created it all around the world. So I have a concierge services, Eric, which the people who love my show and watch it would see him quite often. Okay. So he makes things happen for me. So if I want to film at a certain restaurant, he'll tell me to close down the restaurant, it will cost you so many dollars. I'm like, Eric, that's outside budget.
Yeah.
Can we film with everybody there? So he does all the logistics for me to be able to do what I do and makes it easier for me.
So, I mean, do you think your timing is premature for South African markets when it comes to your type of reality show? Or do you think you're late, or do you think you're just on time?
I think my timing is ahead. I've always been ahead. When I started DFC, I was ahead. I mean, I see a lot of celebrities now are doing fashion lines, but I must appreciate that I looked up to Kensani Manganyi. True. So she went ahead of me. You know, so she was early too. And I think that's why South Africa didn't support South African fashion. And I still think South Africans don't support South African fashion the way they should. Because I don't know anybody who's a multi-millionaire from fashion. You know, so until South Africans get to a point where they appreciate what South African designers are doing, like David Tlale, I mean, there's certain people that I really hold in the highest regard. So for me, I think South Africa is not ready. And that's why South Africa became so critical even of my first episode. And they're like, that's a telenova. Hey, it's a documentary. I was like, baby, 2020, man.
So what? Why were they saying it's a telenova? Because I was watching one scene where some kid came up and thought the guy you're with was Amber Rose. And I thought it was quite hilarious. I was like, quack, that's quite funny. So why would they say it's a telenova?
Look, firstly, people think my show is scripted. I can't afford to pay those people that are on my show. As you've stated, how wealthy they are. Most of them have got private jets and they come from wealthy families. I can't afford to pay them. So all we do is film what's really happening. I can't script them. They're not actors.
But don't you create scenarios? So you don't necessarily script them, but you create the scenario.
No, we don't at all. None of those things are planned. What we do is Eric will speak to a particular hotel. And like if I'm coming to Miami, He'll then go and speak to a couple of hotels. Is it okay if she films? Which hotel is comfortable with that? Then I'll book at that particular hotel. So where they don't mind the cameras, and they'll tell me, okay, please make sure you don't feature this or that, or just do it that way. So everything is pre-planned before my visit. But once I'm there, we just flow. I mean, we are friends, and these are really genuinely my friends. You followed me on Instagram. You know I know these people
From
years
long ago.
back.
And
you
every
know.
time you'd post someone, I'd be like, how does she know this person? But I know about, I think it was 2002, 2003, there was like a good 6 months where you were hanging out with 50 Cent, and was it Vivica Fox? There was just like a lot of high life, A-list life from you. And how did that come about? Because I heard that you paid a service to hang out at those parties, and I was like, how? So you can do that?
No, actually, people misunderstood that whole thing.
Okay, tell me.
When I was a finalist in Mrs. Globe, I met Mrs. United States,
Yes.
whose stylist was a powerful stylist that knew people like Kimora Lee Simmons and all that. So I then told them I'm interested in fashion. So they invited me to New York to come behind the scenes with Kimora Lee Simmons. That's how DFC actually came to life.
About.
You know, and she told me that if you want to make it, you have to make ready-to-wear clothes where people can just walk in, buy a t-shirt, buy pants. Because if you do the red carpets, how many people go to a red carpet, actually?
And
you know?
and also how often?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
if
how
you've-
many times can people afford that? So
Yeah.
people have got to plan to buy that. But to buy a t-shirt, they don't plan that. So she groomed me in that space.
So that's what you wanted with DFC?
That's what I wanted to do with DFC, but obviously we took a different direction.
Yeah,
and
because
someone
y'all
and I,
were
we got-
at the
we-
gowns,
we got
gowns.
lost somewhere, but it's
Beautiful
all good.
gowns all the
It's all
time.
good, yeah.
All right. So when you compare your reality show to the international ones, do you not feel like you're entering a stifled market?
No, I don't. And we all have to start somewhere.
True.
If you, because I'm licensing my show in different countries. I'm in Tanzania tomorrow, and we'll start broadcasting on Clouds TV. Hello, Tanzania, I'm coming. You know, so for me, when I created the show, I created it for every African child, not just South Africans. So sometimes people will be like, hey, I come, show us Ganyamazane, the street. And I'm thinking, babe, no, please, 2020. You know, you'll catch up in 2020.
So I like the fact that you told us that you own the show, you put your own money in, which means that you were quite integral in deciding on which channel it lives on. Why SABC3?
As a matter of fact, I had 3 offers.
Hey.
2 on DFTV and 1 which is the public broadcaster.
Okay.
I chose SABC3. So sometimes people, the way they speak about my channel, which is SABC3, is like SABC3 didn't have other options. SABC3 has got a lot of options. I chose it because I wanted every South African child to have access to my show. To know that if me, ordinary Uyanda Mbuli, I honestly believe that I'm not smarter than the next person. I'm not special, I'm not prettier. I'm just an ordinary girl with a big dream. That you young kids out there need to have big dreams and know that the world is your oyster. And SABC3 was the right platform because it's accessible to every South African child.
Speaking now of inspiration, because you said you wanted it to be inspired. When you speak about the show, like I get that a lot, that rhetoric, oh, it's inspirational, you know, it's hopeful, whatever. Isn't there, don't you just want to be like, actually, it's shallow, it's private jets, it's champagne,
Sweetie.
it's this life?
Of course it is shallow, it's Uyanda Mbuli, honey. But we need to come to the reality of where I came from.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, everybody wrote me off. People thought, oh, Uyanda Mbuli is down and out, there's no Uyanda rising, and nobody called me, Anele. I decided I'm coming back, okay? I'm back, everybody. Hello, I'm back.
She's Arnold Schwarzenegger, she's back.
So for me to do that, I'm not doing it only for myself, but I'm doing it for every person that's discouraged,
Yeah.
that thinks it's over for their lives.
Okay.
That you decide on your destiny. Unless you allow people next to you to tell you who you are, then you will never fully live who you're supposed to be. So that's my story. Yes, it could be shallow, but honey, if you look deeper,
And I
you'll be
appreciate
inspired.
shallow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I appreciate, if this is what you like, if you like the high life, then who are we to tell you not to live it? Uyanda Mbuli, it's on. We're going to talk more with her after this. I don't think... You're watching Real Talk, and I'm with Uyanda Mbuli, chatting to her about her brand new reality show it's on, which is every Wednesday. That is today, right? Wednesday's today. Woo, later today, 9 o'clock. We're going to be watching SABC 3. The first time it aired, your first episode, were you watching? Was the TV off? Were you nervous? Was the phone off? Who was with you?
Dude, my son was there.
Langa.
And he kept saying, Mom, come down. What's wrong? I was like, baby, it's my debut. I'm so nervous, like I was on the edge.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, and I was looking at Twitter. So it was just nerve-wracking, but we made it.
You
we
made it, and
past that point.
now the plane is
Now
definitely in the air.
We're in there.
Speaking of Langa, I mean, you're a mom. You are a very protective mom, and you're a very involved mom. You know, how much of him do you want to feature in this reality show? Because that's your reality. You're a mother.
Look, I am a mother. Landa is not on the show at all.
Okay.
Because I decided that he's young. Firstly, he's not into broadcasting because he learned from my shoes days when he had to defend me at that young age that I was there at this store. So like he really thinks, Mom, this thing of television is overrated. But when I told him I wanted to do my reality show, he supported it. And he said, for the first time, people will know you for who I know you to be and who you really are, this big dreamer that's not scared to pursue anything anywhere in the world. And I'm inspired by that. And if you're inspiring more kids like me to do the same thing, then why not?
Would you agree with me that you were the celebrity in the country as tabloids kicked off?
Yes.
And you basically, you sold a lot of papers.
I sold a lot of papers, well, rightfully so and wrongfully so.
Okay.
And it was tough. It was tough, I must say. Because sometimes we don't realize the impact it has on the people that love us. When I have my mom calling me and saying, baby, why are things happening like this? Because this is not you. And I have to explain to her. And she has to explain to her sisters and
her
the
friends
neighbors.
and society and at the church. And
then I realized, no, something is not right.
so then why would you, or is it easier now because it's on your terms, why are you inviting cameras into your life when you know that all you're doing is going to be putting yourself under more scrutiny?
When I Googled myself during my sabbatical and realized that the Uyanda that they were talking about is not really who I am and what I stand for. I never wanted my son to grow up, Google his mother, and think that's the point of reference. That's the most unfortunate thing. I was talking to a friend and I said, if I want to know something about somebody, when I Google them, I don't read somebody else's opinion on them. I actually go to YouTube and look at videos. What did the person say from their own mouth?
Okay.
So until we live in a society where people know they are fake news, they are fake stories, you need to take control of your own name. And I'm not a coward, Anele, so I'm not scared.
That's true.
So I had to face, this situation straight on.
Head on.
So I came back and I'm going to create my name the way it needs to be created. I will be a global citizen and I will be the kind of mother and the kind of Uyanda Mbuli that my son is going to Google and be proud of.
So then, it's the best thing about reality shows is that you put your life on TV and then something happens and then you're in the papers and then you're like, please, can we have our privacy? You're just like, no, Kim Kardashian, you can't have your privacy because you basically live in my house. Me and you share the same lounge, so sorry for you. So how far are you, what's your take on that? When are you allowed your privacy?
Look, my privacy was stolen from me in 2005 when the tabloids were launched, against some of our names. I mean, I think I can be credited for creating some of these titles, So it's too late. All I can do is to live within the struggles that have been created. Maybe some I'm responsible for it because, of course, I loved the red carpet. I used to dress up for it. And, when it was nice on the red carpet, I enjoyed the cameras. And then off camera, they were fetching me for the wrong reasons. I was like, but there was no red carpet there. I wasn't happy. So you kind of find a balance to say, what is your dream? You need to be honest to yourself. Not everybody's going to love you in this lifetime. And you're not going to be seen to be winning in everybody's eyes. But you must be honest to your own destiny and your own dreams. And for me, reality television is one of my key streams of income in the future. And I'm not going to bypass it because I'm scared of fake news. Fake news will live with me. I will deal with them. I'm stronger now. I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of their stories. And, I'll probably ignore some of the things that they do. I have decided that some of these journalists, if they don't have that story, they're going to be hungry. Anele, they need to put bread on that
so
table.
So you are a feeding scheme.
You better talk about a feeding scheme. Let me feed these people. Oh, come on. If you need my name, take it, honey, and feed yourself and feed your family.
I am watching your show. Yeah. I'm watching your show. So on the show, do we get to see a Mr.?
Hey, Anele, you know what?
Really?
Kuskas, and I want him young. I've decided. That's it. I'm done with old man.
Really?
No, I just want something fresh. You know, that's, you know. Yeah, but Ben 12, yeah, not 10. I think 10 is too young. Yeah, like about 12, 13, 15, yeah, nah, you know.
But guys, I can't believe. I thought you were still dating our person in East London.
But our person, I loved him. Mara, was strong for me. East London. Yo, I shook up East London.
And this is the thing. I'm so sad your reality show missed your life in East London because you were a Stepford wife in Abbotsford like this. Like, let me bring you to speed. It's basically the richest area there where it's just mansions and boats and pretty women with six packs and
a black girl with a McLaren.
Yes, and a rich men and beautiful girlfriends, and so she was there. It's a pity you missed that phase. I would have liked that part of the reality show.
Yeah, in South Africa that would have been fly.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, so outside of business, outside of like all of the reality show and what you're doing and you're flying, when you sit down with Uyanda, outside of the business side, what's your hope and dreams for yourself?
For myself, I just want to continue living my truth and being at peace with myself.
And you know your truth now.
Yeah, I do. I'm very comfortable with who I am. And you know what, Anele, I've reached a point in my life where if somebody called me up and said, Uyanda Mbuli, I'll be like, okay, that's fine. I'm sorry, a movie, darling. And I'll move along. And I won't be moved by it, not even by an inch. Because what you see with your eyes, you only responsible for it. I can't be responsible for what the next person thinks of me. You know, I can only live my truth and make my son proud and make my family proud and make myself proud and inspire the many people that live within our generation of haters to know that that hate doesn't define who you are.
And what's your relationship with the ex-husband like?
Amazing.
Really?
Dude, amazing.
I like that.
You know what? I love Sisa. I've always loved him. I've always looked up to him. And he has shown me he has reason to be the best father I have experienced. We co-parent. He's like my role model. He's that brother
he's a
that
nice
I never
guy.
had. He's a really
when
nice
the divorce was happening, I was just like,
it was tough.
I was like, what a nice guy. What a nice lady. I hope they get through this, you know.
No, but Ankere, the press was involved with their fake news. So they made him look bad. They made me look bad. We sat and we realized we have a child that we have to raise, you know. So he's amazing. He's been so supportive throughout this process. I'm always out of the country. He's the one who's stepping up. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today if I didn't enjoy Sisa's support, if it didn't support me as much as it does. And I'm really, really grateful. And I feel blessed to have him in my life, you know.
I think that's such an example because you know that saying, when giants fight, it's the grass that suffers. And when parents fight, it's the grass, which are the kids that suffer. Yes. And I like the fact that you say you've entered into like a very amicable, we're not fighting, we're happy.
He's an amazing
And he's allowed
guy.
to get married again, right?
Of course, and I'll support him. I hope he knows I'll support him.
So
you know? And I'm not jealous of him. I want him to shine. I want him to do well. He's really, really an amazing father, and he's an amazing friend of mine, and I love him. He's a brother. Sisa is like, he's a standalone. Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations on everything. I'm glad you are here and you are back and you are happy and you are ready to slay.
Wabosle are overrated. You want another crown, good to look crown. Crown for what? If you have a crown, keep it in your heart. People don't have to see shine that you have a crown. You know who you are. Your feet are on the ground. That's all good. This crown thing, people fighting to be queen of that, I know. It's overrated, honestly. Just live your truth. Is
this the Uyanda we're going to see on the reality show?
That's the Uyanda I am.
That's the one we want. Thank you for joining us today. You have to watch it. You want to watch it now, right? Catch it's on Wednesdays. That is today, 9 p.m. on SABC 3. Don't go anywhere. Coming after the break, we're joined by one of the stars from Soap on a Rope. You are in for a real treat. Trust me on this. Trust me. So my next guest will spark a trip down memory lane with all the various ways in which he has put a smile on our faces. With over 2 decades as an actor, he has appeared on kids shows, drama series, and movies especially. He's part of one of the most successful candid camera movie collabs in SA to date. But these days, he plays the role of Detective Short Division. Short Division must not know. And SABC 3 is Soap on a Rope, and you'll know why I'm laughing now with Short Division. Welcome, Alfred Ntombela. I must tell you that you were saying that because your feet were dangling, you wanted a pillow. You're like, I look like I'm being tucked in.
Sorry, Anele, I think that is not in the script. Eh?
You got a script in there? Sorry, Alfred. Jonga, Elfie. Listen, you are easily in. I don't even need to do the stats. Your movies with Leon Schuster have been the most watched movies in South Africa, right? So how is that shift from movie land to TV land weekly?
It's just the easiest thing, because as long as you get the same eyes that are watching the screen, doesn't matter what screen, is it a small screen, 37 centimeter, 56 centimeter, 72 plasma screen, big mama screen, or stay, you know, you name them.
Yeah.
You see, as long as you do one thing that makes people smile and forget the tears.
And I mean, for 20 years you've done it. Why did people think you had died?
You know, Mosish, we are running out of things and ideas of what we can talk about.
Yeah.
So we create some gossip thing. Hey, do you know Anele? She passed on.
Yeah.
What happened? No, the car accident. But you are not driving. Maybe you didn't even have a driver's license. A car. You see, you are like on a bicycle. How can you have a car accident while you're on a bicycle? So people, you know, they like to talk about. Then I realized, I say, we do feel the same story that people keep on talking about. The next thing, I suddenly hear they say, Osita and Chinedu, they passed on. What happened? Car accident. Why car accident? Every time car accident are following us. Suddenly now it was Leon Schuster. What happened to Leon Schuster? He died.
How? Car accident.
Car accident. Aibo. Guys, please make up your mind. What do you want to talk about?
So now finally, SABC 3 has you, and I'm so glad because you are a legend when it comes to entertainment in South Africa. Soap on a Rope, did you audition for it or were you called? Because you know when you're important, most.
I was not called. I was chosen. Because I remember this, I did face these problems about acting on a serious scenes.
Yes.
And then Grey Hofmeyer did say, but Alfred, you've got this face of a comedy, but I think I have to give it a shot to try you in this
serious
world that you'll be running. And he didn't even tell me how long I'll be running. I said, oh, okay, well, I've been demoted or what? From the big screen to TV. Then I start enjoying it because to be a Honorable Masondo, I was like, wow, a short detective.
Detective Short Division. Listen, it's called Soap on a Rope. I want to watch a little bit of it so everybody can be brought up to speed here. That's just a little taste of Soap on a Rope, which you can catch Fridays on SABC 3 at 7:30 in the evening. So it's quite a star-studded, cast. Everybody there has got their own acting chops in their own rights. How was it working with an ensemble?
It was. I didn't think that I was going to fit on those certain scenes like that, but when you tell yourself that I can do this, then you have to do this, because who's gonna do it?
Do you feel like Leon Schuster and you guys have been each other's safety nets, that in a way you are scared or you'll struggle a little to just venture out and do things by yourself?
No, it's not like being scared of doing things by ourselves. Everything that we do, Leon writes it. And then he can come and tell you, says, do this. You have to do this. Give it the best. You try to do your best, they say, no, that's not the best. Give the most best. Then you try to do the most best, they say, no, you are not there, you are getting there. So you end up like I am doing the right thing or what? You're asking yourself. Because even I remember when I was doing Shak Shabalala, Survival Guide 2010, and Kare of me was keep on saying, Alfred, I know you can dance. Dance. Then I dance. Then say, no, that's not enough. Dance. I danced until I felt my shoes like it were falling apart. I said, no. Now I don't know, must I do a toilet or must I do a get down? They don't even know what is a toilet.
Nifunani.
What must I do?
And let's get the premise of this show. So you are a detective.
Detective.
And what I understand that it's based on a TV show that's being shot. So tell us more about it.
The thing that happened on that scene, because we were trying to find out who did this thing that happened to Florence. So we are like confused, but we want to make sure and get the right person. We had a Sangoma, we had this guy, Selo, we have all these people, you know, that they are living with the jealousy. So we don't know who was it exactly. Because sometimes you get the makeup ladies that they've got jealous, you get the people that act with you because of the scenes that you are doing, and then you don't get even a good part, you see.
Because the show, Soap on a Rope, is also about the relationships that actors have with each other. Now, when it comes to that, were you a bit more involved in the writing because you've been acting for 2 decades? So obviously, no one knows better than you what a relationship between actors on a set is like.
The thing that do happen on set, before you go there, you start doing a rehearsal.
Yes.
Then we read the script, and as we read the script, then you start saying, no, wait, how about on this, then I do it this way.
Okay.
Then they say, okay, let's try it. Then we start, all of us, and start reading the script so you can feel where it's heading to. So when you start doing your own thing, then they say, yeah, I think that's going to work. Some other people now, because I can't even talk about names. The things, a lot of happens on set.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you get those person that I want to be a diva, that one I want to be known, I want to show that I'm a good actor. Then I'm like, yo, thanks, I'm not in these scenes. Let me go and sit in a restroom. Then I sit in a lounge room until they do what they have to do. Then when I come back, then they call me, Mr. Ntombela, oh, it's your turn.
Time to
then
go.
Then I just go.
Is that how you've survived in the industry for 2 decades? Just by not involving yourself in the drama of people wanting to be divas, more important, threatened by their talent?
You know, things that you must tell yourself, Anele. Don't involve yourself where you're not supposed to involve yourself. Stay away. You'll get a word that says, that's none of your business. And when they say that, they don't say it with a good attitude. They say it with a bad attitude because it comes with that flake flowers, ugly flowers that can make you try to hide your head into the hole. So, like, stay away. Be yourself. Just be there to do what you have to do. Because after you do what you have to do, when they say it's a rap, out. Cheers, guys. Wardrobe. Boop. Gone out. When it's the call time, it's your call time. Come back. When it's not the call time, stay away. Because tomorrow, Anele, you were there. Tell us what happened. Now you say, there's no You have to talk. So I hate to talk about people because if I say Anele was there and Anele says this and that, that's not going to be nice. Because people, when you walk out, it feels like we're at a school. After school, Zongbonaga.
Listen, I think that is the best advice right out of a legend's mouth. He's got 20 years in the industry. That is some vital information. We'll be right back with more of Alfred because I'm pretty sure you want it, right? In the meantime, do remember to also keep entering our weekly giveaway competition. You get to win yourself a 5,000 Rands e-gift voucher. Make sure that you're following the details on the screen. We'll be right back. How lovely is that?
It was lovely. Even he was angry at me
Why?
last time. You and Gray, you didn't call me and do a small part because you said I'm expensive. I said, how? It was not my idea. Talk to your friend, Gray Mayor.
He's like your work husband. I mean, you guys have been working together for 18 years. Liso,
Remojo.
do you guys ever fight?
Fight?
Yeah.
Let him cheat. Let him drink Jameson. Baba, you see. He make me cry last time.
Oh, really? What was the fight about?
We were on, I think, 22 floor in Durban. Yo, he opened a window. And you see this guy is drunk. He says he's sick and tired of this life. And this life is miserable. And what. And then he even take his foot out on the window. There's no balcony, nothing. He take out his foot out on the window, then another foot, then I pull him in. He said, no, shorty man, Alf, leave me alone, I want to die. I said, no, you can't do this, because now he was drunk. And then when he went out, he left the window open. Then he went out. Suddenly he not went out, he opened the door to take a speed, to come straight to the window.
Was he not pranking you?
Wait, Anele, wait.
Sorry, shorty.
Can't you get popcorns for Anele, please, so he can sit and watch it? Okay. Then he went outside. I was like, what this guy is trying to do, or what he's trying to prove here. Then he came speeding. You know how he's speeding when he's shooting his movie. He comes speeding like, he's like, move. Then when he stopped on the window, he stopped like this. Anele, I don't know, I feel like a little short pee or I don't know. I said, when he says, Alf, you've been shocked. I just left my room, his room. I went straight to my room. I couldn't even speak to him. He phoned me. I hung up the phone. I put it on the side. I just locked my room. I just slept. And then when he tell Grace, Grace, if you can check Alf how he was crying yesterday, I was like a baby. Please don't do this, Leon. Because I don't do this. It was so bad. And it's not the first time they pranked me.
How did you and Leon meet?
Hey, now this sounds interesting. Can you please get popcorns? Okay. How we meet, me and Leon? There's a guy, the late favorite person, father, manager to me. Ken Gampo.
Ken Gampo, okay.
He was my manager. And then I was still doing Ikaela Bantwana Obotato for Haynes Film. And then after that, he heard that Leon Schuster is doing a movie and he's looking for the child to act in a movie. Okay, he did a lot of auditions with the kids. And can you see, you know how hectic with the kids.
Yeah.
You find the kids, they can act, but the problem to read the script was a problem because they didn't want to feed lines because how long it will take to shoot that movie while you feed the lines. Then Bracken brought me to him. He told Leon, says, I've got a guy, don't worry. He said, are you sure? He says, I'm sure. Then when they brought me, it was my special audition. It was me, Graf Meyer, not Graf Meyer, me, David Lister, and Leon Schuster. When we started doing Oh Shucks, Here Comes Unta. And then when we did that, and then we ran the script, then we ran our lines. He had that thing that says, yes, no, not like that. Yeah, he can read. Then he suddenly, after a few minutes, then he did a joke. After he did a joke, Anele, I cracked. I laugh. I just saw Leon. He stood up and he went like, yes, that's the one. I said, what have I done? I said, you are the right guy for this movie. From there, I was in and out on his movies.
Will you guys do another movie?
I can do any movie with him. I don't have a problem.
Because I just feel like, him wanting to prank you to jump out and saying he's tired, a joke, there's a certain level of truth to it always. And he is tired. And he's just like, I've done enough. South Africa loves me. But do you guys both have one more in you for the South Africa?
Anele, there's the thing that my friends out there, the whole South Africa fans, I won't say black, white, Indian, Chinese or what. South Africans, even out the country. They say, did you see how Leon look? I say, yes. I said, he can still write a script. He can still act. But the worry is, what about the age? The age, we can't rewind and go back where we come from. The most important is, Alfred, now I think it's a time to stand up for yourself and do something. I said, that's a good idea, but I don't think that I'll stand up and prank people, and people when they slap me, who's going to take care of me? Like they used to look for Leon.
Yeah.
Leon, no one take care of Leon. Leon can take care of himself. Okay. Because people, they went and punched him straight. Because why? He wants it because of need more of expression from the people.
All right, so we can look for another movie. Yes or no? Because I must go.
Yeah, we can look for another movie, but Scope and Donor, not another. Can't do it. I'd rather do something else.
Are you not glad to have him on your TV screen every single Friday? Soap on a Rope. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch Soap on a Rope on Fridays at 7:30 right here on SABC 3, where the stage is yours. Thank you for joining us. Cheers.